Hi guys, welcome back. We're back with another video, and in today's video we're going to be taking you through a trade that we actually took with the team. All right, so I'm going to be explaining how this trade idea came about, and how we were able to execute and manage such a trade. Okay, so as you can see, we've got GBP CAD, and this is in the M5 time frame. This was the time frame that we were watching as this setup was playing out. And as we can see, remember, the most important thing I always teach you guys is to always follow the market structure. So you always have to understand where the market is coming from. So if we can look at this, what we can see is, and this is the M5, but we'll look at the bigger picture and understand how it came about with this trade idea. Right, so as we can see right here, price was coming from supply. Right here we can see we had a peak formation at this area, price reacting to that order block right there, right? And then we had our drops for the day. We can see a drop, another drop, right, some consolidation, and then the last drop. So for that day, which was the previous day, right, we had 3 levels of drop, as we can see, right, after that peak formation was set for the day at that points of interest. Right, so as we can see from that area right here, right, we can actually see this in the M1 time frame. This is actually just a drop-based drop structure, but as you look at it right here, we call it hidden base. Right, so as you can see, price didn't really go back to that area. Right, we had a pullback ending the day, and then this is definitely your Asian session. Right, after the Asian session, remember, when the London session comes through, we'll look for stop hunts. All right, so this was a nice stop hunt above the Asian session. We'll be able to check this when we move over to the Btmm view of things. All right, but as you can see, where this stop hunt came through, it definitely went and tapped into that hidden base area. All right, so we're expecting to see a move to the downside. As you can see, we can use these areas for targets. This is also a nice area for target, and definitely this area as we have a nice demand area at that level. So once you see this push down, our initial stop loss around this area was just above, right, when we took this trade, just above, and we were targeting these lows. Right, these are the lows that we are targeting. Right, so as you can see, this is how it played out. Right, a very smooth trade. Right, as you moved into those lows. So if you had this as your TP, right, that was a very good area for you to watch for your TP. We're actually still in this trade. Right, I will be advising my VIP members on how we are going to flow with this trade. Right, so if we go to the charts, guys, and if we just look at it from a higher time frame perspective, what we can see is very simple. Right, as you can see, we had a nice peak. Right, if you go to the daily, you can have a clear picture. Right, so price is actually back at a very interesting area. As you can see, we have that supply area in your daily time frame, and as you can see, after breaking multiple structures, we had price getting back to this area with compression. All right, so just by understanding that, you get to have a clear picture of where price is coming from. So moving over to the H4, we can see we've got a peak formation structure which was formed. All right, and as we can see, we can identify a week of drop, as this is our H4 time frame. All right, so getting into the new week, right, we can see that pull back, right, and just basic order flow. Right, as you can see, a nice supply area right there. All right, this is in the H4. So if you move down to the H1 time frame, this is what you can see. Right, very interesting. So you can even refine it. Right, so this was already set when we had this analysis, right, and we saw this move down. We wanted to see a continuation of that move, as you can see. So that's the reason. So on the screenshot, all right, we're looking at this, right, as our hidden base. All right, and if you move down to the M1, this is what we can see. Right, it's just a clear drop-based drop structure. All right, as you can see, a nice supply level. Right, price didn't really come back to that area, so there was definitely liquidity, and we can see how price moved into that zone with compression, and we had our trade to the downside. So if we look at this, from the Btmm view, same thing. Just by looking at this, we can identify a peak formation structure, right? A week of drop, right? And we also identified a lock of that peak formation. So into this week, you can see how the dealer played around with people, right? But we're just focusing on basic order flow. So this is basically what we were focusing on when we sent this trade. If we go to the M15 time frame, you can clearly identify what happened here, right? As this was setting up during agent session, we can see that liquidity being created, right? There's a bunch of money lying above that area, right? So the dealer made a move, no stop hunt at this point, right? Grabbed the stops the other side and then went and gave us a nice, setup on the 200 EMA to the downside. So that was a very nice area. And as you can see, it pushed. So if you're looking at this with the close below 13, you can try to refine your entry and minimize your risk. Around this area, you're looking at a risk of 13 pips. And as you can see, this, went all the way to 50 pips. So if that's that was your target, you would have definitely hit your limit when you got there. So yes, guys, this was actually sent in our VIP signal channel. And as you can see, this was the trade updates, move stop loss below entry level. Every signal has updates. So this is how this is looking. This was my entries on this pair. All right. So I hope you guys learned something from this, right? If you're interested in our signals, do contact me. You can do that by checking out the description below, right? You'll be able to reach out. All right. So, as we are looking at that, I've got a couple of pairs we can look at, right? Very good opportunities. Looking at Euro AUD from the daily time frame, this is what we can identify. Not really that clear. H4, this is what we can see, a clear structure breaker to the downside, and price is back at our extreme levels, at our supply level, right? So we can see how price has already reacted at that supply level, breaking more structures. So as you can see, we can also identify that imbalance right there, right? So I'll be looking at this area to see how price moves, right? If this supply level doesn't hold, I'll be focusing on this. All right, so we'll see how this trade goes. I love how price is moving back to that area. All right, guys, so we're also keeping an eye on that, and we're also keeping an eye on the US dollar index. As you can see, we can also see some compression back to that supply level. Right, so we can also keep an eye on that. There's NFP this week, so you need to make sure that you trade carefully, because anything can happen, right? But we're just following market structure and order flow. All right, guys, hope you learned something from this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to be the first to watch when we drop any new videos. Also turn on your notification bell icon to be the first to watch and to be notified when we drop any new video. If you're interested in signals or mentorship, do check out the description below. You'll be able to get more information. Cheers.